Okay. Chances are, if you've clicked on this video, you fall into one of two camps. One is the vocal majority who have been screaming at Nintendo for the past, 8 years now to remaster or make a sequel to Tomodachi Life. The other camp are the minority of people who are sick and tired of this message flooding every single Nintendo Direct live chat. At least I hope this minority of people exists, because otherwise people are going to hate me. Tomodachi Life, released for the 3DS in April 2013, was localized and released outside of Japan in June of 2014, and finally wound up in my hands for my 9th birthday in 2015. Since then, I've had a good handful of islands, each one featuring a slightly different cast of my friends, family, and Obamas, so I have enough experience behind me to be making these sorts of claims. Trust me, it's not even like I think Tomodachi Life is bad. I actually do quite like it. It's quirky, charming, a good time killer on public transport, and 3DSs are in fashion nowadays, so theoretically, I should love Tomodachi Life. But there's just something about this game that's keeping me from falling for it the same way so many others have. And that's... Actually, what if we went through it together? Welcome to Bruhcodes Island. The game kicks off with you naming your island and creating your very own lookalike me. They'll be the first inhabitant of the island, and both they and the islanders around them are aware that you're their lookalike. So, does this make us Tomodachi God with our very own Tomodachi Jesus or something? I don't know, this is fucking stupid. Naturally, creating me's is a lot of fun. I don't think that's up for debate. But what's even more fun is customizing their text-to-speech voice and giving them their own custom personality. I always get the voices way off.
My nickname is bruhcodes.
Especially because I'm not even American, thanks American Rom. But trying to get as close as possible to a real person's voice and consistently failing miserably is all part of the experience. On the flip side though, I actually think the personalities are weirdly accurate. I mean, I don't know about anyone else, but I pretty consistently find myself finishing up making a new islander and hitting the...
Yeah, she does kind of.
Once your lookalike moves in, you go for a really quick and easy tutorial on how to solve their problems. Spoiler, just feed the bugger. Then you get to add a second me to the island who will 100% befriend your lookalike. I've been privileged enough in my 19 years on Earth to make many good friends. At college, university, online, even before then. So, naturally, I chose Hatsune Miku to be my first friend on the island. From there, the world, or island, is kind of your oyster. The town hall's open, your apartment needs filling, and the more me's you have, the more funny situations you'll inevitably find yourself in. The more me's you create, the more problems they'll have, the more friendships they'll make, the more games they'll want to play, the more gameplay you'll create for yourself. And as you keep bringing in new inhabitants, the island opens up more and more. You'll see stores opening, a constant news channel start broadcasting, an observation tower springs up with the best minigame you can play in the entire game, Don't At Me. And my favourite, the compatibility tester. Apparently my parents are 78% compatible with each other, but if we introduce Obama into the fold, it shoots up to 87%. Should I be worried about that? It's undeniable that the start of the game feels awesome because not only do you typically have the most ideas for me's to add, but you're unlocking things at a pretty fast pace. There's gonna be something new to do every couple of problems solved and every handful of me's added. I blink and all of a sudden there's a vitality chart that's knocked me all the way to the bottom. Fuck. Peter Griffin, Obama, my parents, all the obvious candidates are coming through the door. I'm solving problems, I'm leveling up my me's. This is such a fun time. Like, take a look at this. My me has a 3DS and Wii U to play. Isn't that just charmingly fitting? You get to hand out these gifts every time someone's happiness level goes up, so everyone's getting new apartments fitted and various other things, like I always give myself a 3DS because, again, duh. Likewise, I thought it would be kind of fitting to give Miku a pop song, and the game lets me write one myself. Easily one of the funniest parts of Tomodachi Life, by the way. This whole concert hall, just everything you can do in it is amazing. I'm no poet, but I had a little go at writing a song just so we could take a look and listen to it together. Trust me, this is gonna knock your socks off. You'll love it. It's so funny. Trust me.
How I wonder if you bother hitting join channel. Become a member today, baby. Oh my, I need money badly. Like seriously, I spend it all on the goodness of your heart. Join today, please.
I'm also on Patreon now if you prefer that. So based off all that, it sounds like I love Tomodachi Life. Like, if you love Tomodachi Life so much, why don't you marry at levels of loving Tomodachi Life? And you wouldn't be wrong. Until I reach the slump. This is definitely a recurring thing, at least for me it is. Once I get through maybe 20 or so Miis, I've solved a bunch of problems, most of the places are open, Tomodachi Life becomes, well, a waiting game. You might turn it on, check up on a few Miis, play a few minigames, but you really just have to sit tight and pray someone on your island wants to confess their love to someone else. I get the goal of the game is to have your islanders marry so you can open for homes and spawn in weird generated hybrid Miis, and I know the more adult Miis I have, the more likely it is to happen, so maybe it's user error, but I still think it's a flaw in the game's progression, because it's entirely down to chance and can take a while to happen, and for me, it always takes a while to happen. I mean, this is a relatively small blight on what's otherwise a legitimately really charming game. I don't necessarily want to say anyone's nostalgia for Tomodachi Life is invalid because my Mii lookalike can't find a date, but I think we could have added a few other areas that unlock based on other things. Maybe friendships? I mean, they're a social connection, a rarer event than problems or playing, and they lead into romance in the game, so I guess it makes sense. And I'm not some unlovable incel chud, there should be even more locations kept locked behind a romance encounter. But I think this is a smaller part of ultimately a wider issue with the game. What I have more of an issue with is the cycle you end up falling into. Every time I open the game, it's basically just a gamble on whether my Miis are socializing or not because, to be blunt, after a week or so of playing, I get a little sick of finding matching pairs and feeding my Miis fudge. It could just be my brain, it could be a legitimate issue with the game, but sometimes it can feel more like a chore to just check in on my islanders until, eventually, I stopped checking in on them entirely. There's stuff to do outside the apartment, I'm not going to turn a blind eye to it and say the game is bad because I can only solve problems and play, but after you've checked out your compatibility with a bunch of islanders, damn it, I thought I'd gone better with Bron. And you've asked the same edgy questions and quirky questions,
Who's good at child accessing?
you're just kind of out of things to pass the time with. It worked on me when I was a lot younger, of course, but I just can't get attached to this gameplay loop the way I did 10 years ago. For a week or two, yeah, I'll flood my island with Miis and I'll spoil them rotten. I do like Tomodachi Life after all, I never said I hated it, I just don't think it's a god-given divine video game the way others do. If Nintendo do buckle to the pressure and make Tomodachi Life 2, they need to expand the game pre-first wedding, like pretty desperately. I need more stuff to do before Miis tie the knots. I'm not entirely sure what that looks like, but more buildings, shops, minigames, it would be a pretty good place to start. And also add gay people. Why weren't gay people in this thing? It came out in like 2013, right? That's like progressive enough. You want me to get really contrarian? Miitopia was better. And frankly, I'm glad Miitopia was brought to Nintendo Switch over Tomodachi Life. Yeah, I said it! Miitopia gives you a similar experience of making parties and housing characters, but because it's an actual RPG and not just a weird little social simulator, you actually have things to do other than just mindlessly adding characters. It's funny, it's quirky, it has charm, it has the most in-depth meme maker ever, and goddammit, I'll say the quiet part out loud. This is Tomodachi Life 2. This is the Tomodachi Life 2 you've all been asking for. If you want Tomodachi Life 2 so bad, play Miitopia!